showed no political will. The negotiations continue, but it's very hard to trust what the Russian side promises. For example, when Russia-backed militants last week launched a massive offensive on the town of Mariinka near Donetsk, officers of the Russian General Staff claimed that Russia had nothing to do with it and that no Russian troops were involved in the offensive operation, Poltorak said.
Дуже важко розмовляти з агресором, незважаючи та політик або генерал. Я особисто декілька разів робив спробу переговорити з паном міністром оборони Росії Шойгу.
It's really very hard to talk to the aggressor, whether a politician or a general. I personally tried several times to talk to Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu, but he always said he was too busy and never agreed to have a talk, said Defense Minister Stepan Poltorak. Citing military intelligence reports, he said that around 42,500 militants and Russian troops were in the rebel-held parts of Donetsk and Luhansk regions, as well as huge amounts of weapons and equipment, including more than 500 tanks. Parliamentary Speaker Andrei Parubi, co-chairman of the NATO-Ukraine Interparliamentary Council, added that the weapons used against the Ukrainian army and civilians were of the latest and most advanced types. We are actually armed with 20th century weapons, while the enemy has 21st century weapons. Putin only understands the language of force. He looks down at the language of diplomacy as a weakness, which incites him to act more and more aggressively. He will go exactly as far as we let him until we stop him, and that's what must be done by Ukraine and the rest of the civilized world, Parubi said. That was the news program Ukrainian Perspective, presented by Andrew Mulder, produced by Lyudmila Sudakova. This is Radio Ukraine International. Up next is Sergei Nalisny with a story about cultural differences between Ukrainians and other nations.
Ukraine is a multinational, multi-religious and multicultural society where the Eastern and the Western traditions coexist. This is the nation's great wealth and a source of high morals and spiritual integrity. The population of the country is just over 45 million people and consists of a variety of nationalities. Ukrainians, Russians, Belarusians, Moldovans, Tatars, Poles, Romanians and Greeks are the groups that are predominantly represented. However, as cultural and business relations develop, more and more visitors come to Ukraine on a regular basis, which is particularly noticeable in larger cities. Ukraine is extremely rich in natural resources and has an enormous scientific potential. But perhaps the greatest value of Ukraine is its people, who are benevolent, merry, hospitable, and generous. Westerners note that gender roles in Ukraine tend to be more traditional. Folks from the East might think that it's quite the opposite. Women have too much freedom in Ukraine. Not only do men open doors for women and gallantly hold their hand as they step out of the bus, but women tend to dress more femininely and accentuate their attractiveness more than in most Western countries. During courtship, men tend to be more romantic, bringing flowers and gifts and paying the bills during dates, and women try to look especially elegant. Sometimes the contrast between stunningly attractive women and their casually dressed, poor-postured boyfriends is remarkable. However, one can say with confidence the major part of Ukrainian women, irrespective of their social status or education, tends to look like real ladies. Manfred van Kesteren, a public auditor at the Ministry of Finance of the Netherlands,